What if I told you the difference between a book making $10 a month and a book making $1,000 a month and a book making $10,000 a month wasn't as big as you think? In this video, I'm gonna break down 3 different books in the same niche, one making 10, one making 1,000, and one making $10,000 a month. And I'm gonna show you some things that you can adjust on your books right now so you can close the gap and increase your profits. Let's go. All right, everybody, how's it going? So slightly different video today. I'm gonna break down 3 different books for you, and we are going to take a look at books in the first-time dad niche, in the parenting niche, and specifically we're looking at dads and first-time dads as you kind of niche down there. And we're gonna look at 3 different books, and we're gonna dissect them and talk about why they're making the amounts that they're making. My goal is that you'll be able to take some of the things that we talk about here, apply it to your current books so you can start making more money and increasing your income there. So let's dive into it. So the main things that we're gonna be looking at for each book is gonna be the title and the subtitle, the cover, the description, the interior, the reviews it has, as well as its current price point. So with that being said, let's take a look at the first book. All right, so the first book we have here is First Time Dad, a survival guide for new fathers, parenting essential series. So what do we notice? Well, we do have first time dad. So we have the main keyword being targeted, which is good. Now, a survival guide for new fathers tells me a little bit about the book, but it doesn't tell me anything else about the book. It doesn't tell me how I'm gonna feel, what I'm gonna get from it, or really anything else. It's just a survival guide for new fathers, but it's not going into, you know, what are the specific things you're gonna be covering. Then it has this parenting essential series. So let's bring that up and see if it's true. Ugh. Yeah, okay, it is a series. Not a very good cover, or not a very good title, rather. And the subtitle is kind of like, it's just, no. Now, let's talk about the cover. And really, I should have done the cover first, because the cover is the first thing the customers are gonna see. It's dark and depressing. This is the opposite of what you want for a first-time dad. Now, I get it, right? So dad is holding baby, you know, it's like probably like 2, 3 a.m. And so it's like nighttime, and like dad's rocking baby to sleep, kind of just had some feeding or something there, right? I don't know why the light would still be on, that'd be kind of shiny in baby's face. But like, so I get what they're trying to do, but if you think about it, I think they're going about it all wrong, right? It's too dark, it's too depressing, it's not sending the right message. Number 1 new dad book, okay, like back that up. Yeah, you can't just put number 1 new dad book and not have any credentials to back that up. That's called lying. So not cool. The cover is the big issue for this book, and this is why this book is making like roughly $50 a month. I'm sure it's making less than that. The next thing we'll go through is the description. So first time dad, survival guide for new fathers, because babies don't come with instructions, neither does fatherhood. Welcome to fatherhood, where diapers are explosive, sleep is optional, and love is absolutely overwhelming. Whether you're expecting a first child, or you've come home with your newborn, or wondering just what's happened, this book is written by a regular dad who's been through the 3 a.m. feedings, nursery meltdowns, his and his babies, blah, blah, blah. So like, obviously it was just copy and pasted from AI. There's no real emotions. It's not asking any questions. It's not drawing me in to the actual book here. We do have some bullet points, which is kind of cool, or kind of good here, right? But it's all very generic. It's all like, okay, well, so does every other book in this niche is gonna cover this as well. What's making this book unique? What's making this book different? And that's what should be shown in the description. Why do I buy this book over one of the other ones? This person's not showing it here, right? And then what are they missing here, right? This is not about being the perfect dad, right? It's about showing up, learning as you go, blah, 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 blah. New fatherhood starts here. You got this. So what did they not do? What was the biggest mistake they've made that's absolutely killing your sales here? They didn't ask for the sale. They didn't ask. They didn't tell me, scroll up and buy now. You have to tell your customers to buy. You have to treat them like sheep. Like scroll up, click buy now. You have to have that call to action in your descriptions if you want to improve your conversion rate. It's sales 101. So they're not having that here, but you know what? This is obviously somebody's very first book. It's probably through like 5-day or 7-day challenge, whatever. That's okay. Let's talk about pricing. They priced it at $10 flat, $18 flat. You don't see prices like that. You see $9.99. The reason you see $9.99 and not $10 is because psychologically and literally $9.99 is less than $10. But the difference between $10 and $9.99 is psychologically, it's huge. It's not just a penny. That's why marketers do $9.99 or 99 cents or whatever the case is. And they don't just do plain $10. It's psychology 101. This person's not doing it here. Now, are they not selling because they priced the book wrong? No, of course not. It's everything else. But I'm just saying the details matter. And the details are what I obsess over when I'm going through students' books. Let's go down to A+. Of course not. I knew this book wasn't gonna have an A+ as soon as I saw the cover, right? No A+ there, but you gotta have an A+ because you need to sell the book, right? Is there anything else? We have a bit of an author's bio, but it's more of a generic thing that's gonna tell me nothing about anything that I'm gonna wanna read. Like this is just, yeah, nope. Now, let's look at the interior really quick. We gotta open this up. Okay, so copyright page, table of contents. So when I'm looking at the table of contents, one of the things that I'm looking for is good copywriting. Because what do we look here? We see the chapter titles, like Prepare for Fatherhood. Okay, Navigating the Newborn Phase, Balancing Work and Family. So these are just basic, boring chapter titles. Could we use some copywriting to make these chapter titles way more enticing, build some curiosity, build it so it's like, I'm like, oh, what, you know, for example, instead of preparing for fatherhood, right? Maybe it's like the 7 mistakes new dads make and how to avoid them as you enter fatherhood, like something like that. So it's like, I'm like, oh, what are the 7 mistakes or the 7 like fatal mistakes that are gonna shape your son's life or your daughter's life, your kid's life, right? Like something like that where I'm like, oh, I need to check that out. But we're not doing anything like that here, so, okay. And then we have the book. It's preface, why to read this book, and introduction, and join our launch team. It's a little early, but chapter 1, emotion, like it's just basic, right? It's basic. And like I said, I don't want to harp on this because obviously this book was not made to make money. It was just somebody's practice book, which is okay. But still, if you have books like this that are published kind of like this, and you wonder why they're not selling, this is, you know, so yeah. Reviews, 19 reviews, right? So there's like no reviews basically on it. When was this published? This was published in June 7th, right? So yeah, cool. You know, you can go look and see when this one was published. God, these covers are just gone awful. Like, holy crap, somebody put 47 reviews on this book? Jesus. What a waste. Jesus. I just like, guys, this is why feedback is so important. Because obviously I've never seen this book in my free school group. I'll plug it right now. If you want like a free how to do publishing group right now course, it's completely free, 100%. You can join my Profit and Publish 5-day challenge. You'll learn how to find a topic, write a book, publish the book, profit from the book, all within 5 days, completely free. There's a link in the description for that. But going back to this, why you need to get feedback on your covers, because some of you don't know how bad your covers are. This person thought their cover was gonna be good enough to sell, okay? They might have not got any feedback from anybody else, and yet they went out and they got 47 reviews on this book, hoping and praying they were one day going to make passive income with Kindle publishing. And, you know, this might have caused them to quit. This might have caused them to whatever, but what I know, you know, hopefully they figured it out and they decided not to, you know, they've changed their niche or whatever, or they just started buying covers, right? But yeah, no, horrible cover, horrible cover. Always, always, always get somebody's second opinion on your cover, because your opinion is usually skewed. I do the same thing with mine. So that's the first one. I think I covered all of the points I was gonna cover there. Kind of did two there, but okay, cool. So that was supposed to be like the $10 book, which I think it ended up being like a $50 a month book, but that's okay. Let's move on to the book making $1,000 a month and see what the difference is. So we have New Dad Baby Hacks. New Dad Baby Hacks, contemporary guide for dads, strategies for the first year that every first-time father needs. Okay, so much better. Do you see the difference between that first title, right? Let's go back. The first title, The First Time Dad's Survival Guide for New Fathers, to this one, New Dad Baby Hacks. So still the same thing, first-time parents or dads. A contemporary guide for dads, strategies for the first year that every first-time father needs. So we're adding a little bit of copywriting, right? This part, strategies for the first year that every new father needs. That's a little bit of copywriting. It's basic copywriting, but it's copywriting, but that's good. So I'm like, hey, cool, I'm a first-time dad. I wouldn't mind checking out these new strategies. Cover, unique. Not the best cover by any means at all, but it does work. So it looks like we're on a treadmill here. We're on a treadmill with the baby, it's been a while since I pushed the little thing in that. What do you call this thing? Stroller. So super, super basic cover, but I guess it's working, right? Because this book, you know, roughly $1,900 in sales, 34,000 BSR. So things are working. I would be happy to have this book in my KDP account because it's bringing in a bit of chunk of change. So that's good. Now let's take a look at the description. Okay. Get rid of your doubts and fears. Discover how to nurture your baby in the first 12 months to help them grow healthy and strong. Okay, look, are you excited about your baby's arrival, but you're not confident that you can take care of a mini human? You might be fearful of what's going to happen when you bring home your baby, from changing diaper to bathing and feeding. You're wanting to make sure you're doing everything right from the get-go. Navigating the first year of fatherhood can be overwhelming, and asking for help can make your life easy as possible. So see what they did in the beginning. So they asked a question. Are you excited about your baby's arrival? Yes, but not confident that you can take care of a mini human? Yeah, like I'm sure a lot of parents feel that, right? Versus this book, because babies don't come with instructions and neither does fatherhood, right? So it's kind of going on a more comical point of view. Welcome to fatherhood. And it just kind of dives into it. It reads more like an introduction, where this one's connecting with the audience a little bit better. It's pulling them in. And that's so key when you're developing your description, to pull in the reader, right? So then it goes into things. Now, look how we have the bullet points compared to the bullet points here. Okay. So, all right, you'll discover how to baby-proof your home to keep your baby safe no matter what they touch. How to care for your baby in the first 24 hours without neglecting your spouse. Very, very good. 8 possible reasons why your baby cries and what to do when they don't stop crying. So it's just using some beautiful copywriting here. And this is just great because they've done a really, really good job at just building up the information of what's going to be inside the book. 11 sleeping problems your baby may have and how to solve them so everyone can enjoy a good night's rest, right? Whereas we go back to these ones, bonding tools like skin to skin and baby wearing, connect with your child from day one. It's just kind of a little bit more plain, a little bit more boring, and that's not cool. So really, really good job here. And then look at the bottom, right? This is key, right? We talked about what wasn't there in the last one. If you want to overcome your fear as a first-time dad and raise a healthy, happy baby while keeping your relationship with your partner strong, scroll up, click add to cart right now. Click, right? Scroll up, click add to cart right now. It is so small, yet so important to have that in your descriptions. Absolutely key. So really, really well done there to this publisher. Let's take a look at some. Okay, good. We got an A+. Oh, cool. You're kind of like, I see what they're doing. All right, this is cool. Right? Publisher William Harding. Okay, cool, cool, cool. You'll sell more with a better A+. Like, go pay somebody to make your A+. I'll put a link to the girl that I use who just makes phenomenal A+. I don't think this is really good. I think you could, because there's like, you're at 34,000. The top book in this niche is at 2,000. So there's room for improvement, William. I would definitely redo this right here. We got a better thing, you know, whether or not this is actually William, it's irrelevant, but we have a much better warm and welcoming bio than just having a publishing company here. Like that's just, yeah. Okay, so that's really cool. I think that matters, especially for these type of books. Let's look at the interior really quick and see what we can notice from there. Read sample. Okay, so we got the copyright page. Okay, for your free gift. All right, I'll click on it. Let's see. Can I click? Okay, no, you can't click. Yeah, I can click. No, I can't click. Whatever. Okay, so table of contents, surviving the first 24 hours after birth. Like, I'm not skipping that chapter if I'm a new dad, right? Basic care for your baby, how to feed your baby right, you know, how to help your baby sleep. So really cool. We could be a bit more creative, I think, with it. Now, also one difference that William has done here that the other one didn't do is, like, this one, they have all of their, like, you know, the chapter title and then all the mini points that are in there, where William decided to just go with the main chapter title, right? Right way, wrong way, don't know. I prefer the cleaner look. That's how I like doing it, but it's all good. Join the Dad's Club community, really good, cool, awesome. Okay, we have audiobook hardcover there, Kindle, awesome, okay, sweet, okay. Reviews, we have 311 reviews. We can't skip that. So that's definitely a part of why this book's doing so well. It's been published for a few years now, like 3 years, but 311 reviews. Once you get a few hundred reviews on your book, you're good. So this has been doing well. Let's see if it's still getting current reviews. I don't see any videos on it though. So no videos, no pictures. So that would be really cool to have. So this is August 10th. So right here, right? Great tips for new dads. So it's still getting some good reviews every now and then, right? Found many errors in the book. I read it beforehand, found many errors, right? Take your baby on a car ride or a stroll when they cry. Of course it would work. But honestly, can you do that every time your baby cries? No. I don't know, maybe some people can, maybe you can't, but opinions, right? So, all right, cool, but not bad. And that was like, so obviously it's making over $1,000 a month, but still pretty cool there. So now the last book is the book making over $10,000 a month. And it's neat to see the difference between a book making like pretty much nothing to a book making like $1,000 a month. Just subtle changes, just improving the subtitle, improving the cover, improving your description, you know, having your A+ there, even if it's not a good A+ in my opinion, right? But just those little differences, look at the difference it makes in the exact same niche, right? So now we bring on to the last one, and it is, yes, it is You Will Rock as a Dad, and it is the #1 book in the parenting space for new dads. It is bringing in over $20,000 in a month. And that is super, super cool. So it's sitting at $2,400 in the Amazon store right now. So let's dive into it. So You Will Rock as a Dad, the expert guide to first-time pregnancy and everything new fathers need to know. Now, here's a caveat on this. I guess first-time pregnancy could be the main keyword that they're targeting, but it's definitely not first-time dads. right? So that is definitely a risk that paid off well for this publisher, right? Because normally you want to have your main keyword that you're targeting up here, unless she was targeting first-time pregnancy, for fathers, then that's okay. But cool, but it's good. The expert guide to first-time pregnancy and everything you need, new fathers need to know. It's bold, it's there, it's like everything you're gonna need. So really well done. I do like the whole "you will rock as a dad" because there's that confidence inspiring phrase, right? You will rock as a dad. I think that did help with reality of this book, which we'll talk about in a second, is that little phrase right there because it was so key. Now the cover, it's cute and simple, and sometimes that just works really well for this type of book, right? We have a father hugging their kid. We have the subtitle there, and then we have the author's pen name there. So great, simple title. Check this out. So the first time father's gift that benefits her too. Looking for dad gifts. The perfect dad to be book. A book for expecting dad or birthday gifts for men. Congrats, man. You're gonna nail this thing known as fatherhood. You found one of the new dad essentials. Did you just hear 2 little words that will change your life forever? We're pregnant and you're freaking out just a tiny bit, worried you won't be there enough for your partner or your unborn child during these crucial months. So once again, it's pulling you in by asking you questions, by painting the picture, and it's doing it in a really, really well done way, right? There was something else that kind of like, oh yeah, right down here, we have like a PSA, right? We make sports, beer, and dude references. If you do have a sense of humor, this book is for you. So it's going with a very, very more laid back, kind of fun theme. And that's something that you need to take into account when you're creating your book. Like, are you gonna be like kind of, and it only works for not all niches, but some. Are you gonna be the typical, straight and narrow, kind of dry whatever? Or are you gonna spice it up a little bit and add a bit more of a flair or whatever to your book? And you're gonna have that throughout the entire thing. So, the Swiss Army knife of baby supplies and why you should always have plenty on hand. Okay, like right there, I wanna know what on earth are you talking about? What's the Swiss Army knife of baby supplies? What is that? So it's creating curiosity that I'm going to have to open up the book to read, right? Just really well done. And think father knows best? Click add to cart now. Once again, it's using that comedic effect there. Really cool. We have our A+, right? Viral on TikTok, Wonder Baby, Women's Journal, right? So great there. Fantastic job on the A+. Like, this is a really good A+. I like this. It's on brand, it's simple, it's easy to read. Perfect, okay? We have some reviews here. And then we got a ton of videos. These are just UGC videos that you can go get on Fiverr if you want, and they get added to your product video section here. And yeah, so that's really cool. And let's take a look at the inside. Did we get this one? Okay. So look at that. So really, really small, simple table of contents there. Say a little too small, but that's okay. More titles by the You Will Rock books. Really good branding there. Cool. And then, like, look at this. There's nothing fancy. It's just a really, really basic formatting. In fact, too basic. Really simple. Like, there's nothing jumping out there at all. And that's okay. Now, this book does have 650 reviews, but why did this book do so well? What made this a $20,000 a month book compared to the other ones that we were looking at that it's doing about $2,000 a month? Well, the biggest thing was external Amazon traffic. This book went absolutely viral on TikTok. And in fact, it made several hundreds, thousands of dollars a month at its peak. And that is the absolute key thing here, is if you can create external traffic from social selling off Amazon, bring those onto Amazon, bring those customers onto Amazon, you can essentially just take over any sort of niche that you want. And that's the biggest thing that made this book special. It's not formatted in a cool way. It's like the A+ is good. It's not great. It's decent. You know, great job on the description. I really like that. But that's all stuff that you could do, and you could create a better A+, you could do a better cover, you could create a better description on this. But what you might not be able to create is that viral sensation. And that's the hardest thing to compete with. This book is gonna be cemented in these categories for a very long time because of how well it's done off Amazon. And that's the biggest thing. And if you want to learn more about that, you should go check out the video I did on TikTok and TikTok Shop for Books. It'll be in the description that you can go check that out. If you want to scale your business to a level that's completely unheard of, focus on finding ways to bring Amazon more customers. Because if you can bring them more customers and bring them more customers at scale, like you can do with TikTok, everything on Amazon just turns into gravy. And that's the coolest thing about selling on Amazon in this day and age, is we're entering the world of not just relying on Amazon or relying on KDP anymore. We're entering the world of like social selling, where we're gonna be able to generate income from places like TikTok, like Shopify. We get the income from there, but then we also get all the spillover onto Amazon and just clean up in profits from there. So really, really cool. Anyways, that's all I have for you. Definitely check out the link in the description if you're brand new to publishing, or if you're not and you're just looking for a community that you can join where you can learn how to publish your book properly, all for free. It's a free program that you can check out, the Publish and Profit 5-Day Challenge. First link in the description. As always, everybody, I'm Emeka. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.